What if I told you that your entire life, your health, your focus, even your sense of freedom, could pivot on the first 5 minutes of your morning? Not because of a secret supplement, not because of a complicated biohack, but because of five deceptively simple choices that, once repeated, could turn you into someone almost unrecognizable from who you are today. And before you dismiss that as exaggeration, pause for a second. Think about it. When does your day really begin? Is it when you wake up, when you check your phone, when you stumble to the kitchen, or is it when you decide deliberately how you'll step into life? The Stoics believed that the way you begin anything shapes its destiny. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning, when you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive. And those words still cut through centuries of noise. So today, we're not talking about grand, impossible routines. We're talking about 5 micro habits. Habits so small you might overlook them, but practiced daily, they can transform your health, your focus, your resilience, and your spirit. Stay with me until the end, because it's often the smallest hinge that swings the largest door. Let's begin where every day begins. Your very first act after waking. Habit 1, wake up your body with water. Now let me ask, what's the first liquid you put in your body each morning? For most people, it's coffee. And while coffee has its rightful place, it's not the friend you think it is right after sleep. See, after hours of rest, your body is essentially in a drought. Your cells are thirsty, your brain is sluggish, your circulation is slower. Coffee in that state is like revving a dry engine. It moves, yes, but at the cost of strain. The fix, so simple it almost feels insulting. A glass of water, room temperature. Add a squeeze of lemon if you like. That's it. And yet, it's not just hydration. It's a ritual, a micro gesture of self-respect. The moment you decide, before the world takes, I will give to myself. I'll be honest, when I first tried this, I thought, how much difference could this possibly make? But after a week, the fog lifted quicker. After a month, my morning energy was sharper. And more importantly, I noticed the symbolism. I wasn't rushing. I wasn't consuming stimulation before clarity. I was beginning with intention, not chaos. The Stoics would approve. To drink water deliberately is to honor life itself, to affirm, I will care for the vessel that carries me. So tomorrow morning, before the phone, before the caffeine, before the barrage of demands, pause, drink, and silently thank yourself for choosing alignment over autopilot. Once you've hydrated, your body has what it needs, but it's still not ready to carry you. And here's where most people go wrong. Habit 2, move before you go anywhere. Have you ever stood up too quickly in the morning only to feel the world tilt slightly? That's not just age or fatigue. That's your body reminding you, I've been still for hours. Give me a moment. But most of us don't. We stumble from bed to kitchen, half asleep, dragging stiffness into the day. Instead, imagine this. The moment you wake, you stand by your bed and for 60 seconds, you move, slowly, intentionally. Stretch your arms, roll your shoulders, take 3 deep breaths. Shift your balance from one foot to the other. Nothing complicated, nothing exhausting, just a signal. A signal that says, we are awake now, we are here, we are ready. This isn't exercise, it's ignition. It's turning the key before driving. And here's the beautiful paradox. That 1 minute of mindful motion can change the entire flavor of your day. A reactive body pulls you into stress and craving. A ready body meets life with steadiness. Carl Jung once wrote, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Morning movement is both. It wakes the body and turns you inward. The Stoics taught us that we cannot control events, but we can control our preparation. Seneca put it clearly, begin at once to live and count each day as a separate life. If each day is a new life, then the first breath, the first stretch, is its birth. When I started this ritual, I noticed a strange thing. My mornings felt less frantic, even if my schedule was unchanged. Why? Because I'd broken the cycle of rushing. I'd chosen presence instead of stumbling, and presence, once chosen, multiplies. Now your body is hydrated and awake. But here's the truth, it still needs fuel, and this is where most people silently sabotage themselves. Habit 3, feed your strength early. Picture this. You wake, your body is fasting from the night. If you don't give it protein, it begins to break down muscle tissue for energy. Day by day, year by year, that erosion compounds. What you lose is not just muscle, it's independence. Because the day you can't carry your groceries or rise from a chair without effort is the day freedom shrinks. The Stoics warned us about wasting life. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." In the same way, we waste strength, not in dramatic moments, but in daily neglect. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but mornings are busy. I don't have time to cook an elaborate meal. Here's the truth. You don't need an elaborate meal. An egg, a scoop of Greek yogurt, a handful of nuts, a protein shake, if nothing else. Small choices. But every gram in the morning is like a deposit in your savings account of resilience. Skip it, and you're making withdrawals you can't see until it's too late. And here's what surprised me when I made this a ritual. It wasn't just physical. With stable protein in the morning, my mind steadied too. Less fog, fewer cravings, a quiet, grounded energy. Carl Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Who you are physically is shaped not by what you do once in a while, but what you repeat. So ask yourself, are you building strength, or are you allowing it to slip away unnoticed? Even strength, though, won't serve you if you cannot move freely. And this leads us to the fourth habit, the most underrated of all. Habit 4, loosen your joints. Keep your freedom. Here's a hard truth. Many people lose freedom not because of illness, but because of stiffness. Joints that once moved with ease slowly grind, resist, and ache. Not all at once, but little by little, the world shrinks. But the fix is almost absurdly simple. 90 seconds of gentle joint movement every morning. Sit on the edge of your bed, roll your ankles, circle your wrists, twist your torso. You're not training. You're reminding your body, I value your mobility. Mobility is not glamorous. Nobody applauds you for rolling your shoulders. But 10 years from now, those 90 seconds may be the reason you can travel, dance, or simply climb stairs without hesitation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." For many, stiffness is the obstacle, but it doesn't need to be. Address it now, and the obstacle transforms into freedom. Think of it like oiling a hinge. Small care prevents major rust, and the cost? Less than 2 minutes. When I began practicing this, I felt silly at first, rotating wrists, circling hips, but then I noticed daily tasks felt easier, reaching overhead, tying shoes, lifting bags. The fear of tweaking something disappeared. And here's the Stoic layer. Preparation is freedom. To care for your joints each morning is to guard your independence, your ability to act in the world. Seneca said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Mobility prepares you for the opportunities you might not yet see. But even if your body is hydrated, awake, strong, and mobile, there is still one frontier left: the mind. And here's where most of us lose the day before it even begins. Habit 5, clear your mind before the world fills it. There's a fragile, golden moment each morning. The world is still quiet. Your thoughts are still your own. And then it's gone. Because most people grab their phone. Suddenly you're in the noise. News, messages, comparisons, chaos. Your mind no longer belongs to you. But here's the counter move. Take 1 minute, just one. Close your eyes and walk backward through yesterday. What was the last thing you did before bed? Who did you talk to? What color was the evening sky? What did you eat? This is not just memory, it's presence. Neuroscientists call it building cognitive reserve. The Stoics called it awareness, living deliberately. Carl Jung said, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart." And Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." At first, I resisted this practice. My fingers itched for the phone. But after a week, I noticed I remembered more. Conversations, small details, sensations. Life felt more vivid, not blurred. And with that clarity, choices felt sharper. The Stoics didn't fear discomfort. They embraced it as training. To resist the urge to scroll for 60 seconds is training for the mind. And in a world of constant distraction, that 1 minute of ownership becomes revolutionary. The bigger picture, why small habits matter. Let's zoom out. Most people think transformation comes from big, dramatic acts, a new diet, a 90-day fitness challenge, a sudden life overhaul. But here's what really happens. You burn bright for a week, maybe 2, and then the old self pulls you back like gravity. The Stoics knew this. That's why they obsessed over the daily. Not the spectacular, not the once-in-a-lifetime, but the ordinary, repeated, deliberate acts that form character. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery doesn't come from rare explosions of effort. It comes from steady, repeatable practice. And that's exactly what microhabits are, the small disciplines that, over time, free you. Deep dive. Habit 1 revisited. Water as a symbol. We talked about drinking water first thing, but let's go deeper. Why does something so small matter so much? Because it's not about the water, it's about the signal. Every action you take is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you wake up and drink water before reaching for your phone, you are voting for the identity of someone who leads, not someone who reacts. It's like Marcus Aurelius writing to himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Water isn't just hydration, it's your first assertion of power. A reminder that you choose, you lead, you begin with clarity. And when you repeat that small vote every morning, the identity compounds. I am someone who takes care of myself first. That's how you quietly and visibly reshape who you are. Deep dive habit 2, morning movement as a mental reset. Now let's return to that 60-second stretch, that gentle ignition of the body. Most people underestimate it because it feels trivial. But what's trivial today becomes transformative tomorrow. Why? Because movement doesn't just wake up muscles, it rewires your state of mind. Modern neuroscience shows that even light physical activity triggers endorphins, increases blood flow to the brain, and reduces cortisol. Translation: 1 minute of movement shifts you from stress to readiness. And here's the Stoic layer. Seneca reminded us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. How many of your mornings begin with imagined suffering? Worry about emails, stress about tasks, dread about the day? But when you move, you anchor yourself in the physical. You cut through imagined fear with real presence. That's why this habit sticks. Not because it builds muscle, but because it disarms anxiety before it begins. Deep dive. Habit 3, protein as protection. Now let's go back to protein. Why does a few grams in the morning matter so much? Because it's not about muscles, it's about independence. Imagine two futures, one where you age into weakness, reliant on others for simple tasks, and another where you age into strength, carrying your own life with dignity. The difference often comes down to one thing. Did you protect your muscle mass, or did you let it erode? Modern science calls muscle the organ of longevity. The Stoics would have called it preparation. Epictetus trained his students not to avoid hardship, but to be ready for it. That's what protein does. It's quiet, daily preparation. And here's the truth. When you treat breakfast as an act of preparation instead of indulgence, your relationship with food transforms. You stop asking, "What do I want right now?" and start asking, "What will make me stronger tomorrow?" That's a Stoic question. That's self-care as discipline, not indulgence. Deep dive. Habit 4, mobility as freedom. Now, mobility. The least glamorous, but perhaps the most profound. Because what is freedom, really? Freedom is the ability to act in the world without restraint, to walk where you want, to lift what you need, to move without pain. And what steals that freedom first? Stiffness, weak joints, neglect. Most people don't notice until it's too late. But 1 to 2 minutes of mobility each morning is like putting coins in a jar labeled future freedom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." Being good includes being good to your future self. Loosening your joints each morning is a small kindness that compounds into independence. It's not glamorous, nobody applauds, but that's the essence of Stoicism, doing what is right, not what is flashy. Deep dive. Habit 5, the mind before the world. Finally, the most dangerous frontier, your mind. We live in an age of constant invasion. Notifications, ads, opinions. Your attention is the most valuable currency, and everyone is trying to steal it. If you don't guard the first minutes of your day, you've already lost. That's why the practice of reflection, of walking backward through yesterday, is so powerful. It's not nostalgia, it's training. Training your memory, training your presence, training your ownership of attention. The Stoics practiced a form of this every evening and morning. They reviewed their day, not with guilt, but with clarity. What did I do well? Where did I fall short? How can I live better tomorrow? When you do this, even for 60 seconds, you reclaim your mind before the world can hijack it. And over time, you'll notice life feels sharper. Details stay with you. Choices become deliberate. That's when you know the practice is working. The compound effect, becoming unrecognizable. Now let's tie it all together. Each habit alone is small, almost invisible, but together, practice daily, they create a compound effect. Water teaches you discipline. Movement anchors you in presence. Protein protects your strength. Mobility guards your freedom. Reflection reclaims your mind. Day by day, these micro habits rewrite your identity. Until one day, months from now, you look in the mirror and realize you are not the same person you were. And here's the beautiful paradox. Nobody else may notice right away. The world rarely applauds quiet discipline, but you will notice. You will feel it. And eventually the world will see, not because you told them, but because you live it. That's what it means to become unrecognizable. The Stoic thread that holds it all. At its core, these habits are not just health hacks. They are philosophy in action. Stoicism is not about theory, it's about practice, about living in alignment with nature, reason, and virtue. When you drink water deliberately, move with intention, eat for strength, preserve your mobility, and guard your mind, you are practicing Stoicism. You are training self-mastery. You are choosing to live, not drift. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Stop debating the perfect routine. Stop waiting for motivation. Just begin. So here's my challenge for you. For the next 7 days, practice all 5 habits. Don't overthink it. Don't perfect it. Just do it. Drink water before coffee. Stretch or move for 1 minute. Eat or drink protein. Rotate your joints. Reflect for 60 seconds. 7 days. That's it. Because in 7 days, you'll feel it. In 30 days, you'll see it. And in a year, you'll be unrecognizable. The Stoics believed life is not short. Don't waste it. Don't wait drift. Begin now. And when you do, you'll discover something profound. Self-care is not soft. It's strength. It's resilience. It's freedom. So, what will you choose tomorrow morning?